Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Action with Jaxson. Here with my boy Caden again. We're going to break down some baseball this week. Also, big thank you to StreamYard for hosting this stream. You guys are always helpful to us. If you guys haven't used the app, you should definitely try it. All right, well, let's get rolling here. So, first game I got on here is Texas and Georgia. Texas swept Georgia. Honestly, they pretty much dominated. I guess, what was it, the Sunday game? They were down for a little bit, but it really wasn't much of a problem. UT came back and won. UT's kind of clicking defensively. They're the best team in the country, I feel like, right now, especially pitching. Mark, what's your thoughts on UT Georgia?
Oh, yeah, Jared Spencer, 11 Ks. What a day by that guy. I mean, he's continuing to dominate and just get us through innings, eating up innings. So that's going really well. Saturday, kind of the same thing. Luke Harrison had an okay day, and then we had some guys come in. Volantis came in, and guys like that, and just kind of shut the door. Sunday, we were down 4-0. We weren't really putting up much of a fight hitting at all until we had a Jacques Stewart 2-run bomb, and then once we kind of got some offense going, that sparked it a little bit after that. And then we had a Schuster 431-foot bomb. He's starting to pick up the bat. And then, we kind of came back and won. So they're looking really good. They held Georgia offense to nothing. That was one of the hottest – it still is, to me, one of the hottest hitting teams in all of baseball. The only question after that is, Georgia finally played an opponent, how they're going to look the rest of the year. Their pitching staff is not very deep. That's what it looked like this weekend at least. So we'll see going forward.
Yeah, honestly, man, Georgia didn't impress me at all this weekend. I know sometimes I'm forgiving with these kind of weekends, but in my opinion, that's really a series you can't get swept in. I don't understand why. I just don't think their offense was as good as people thought, because you got to think they played Kentucky, who is so-so. They played Florida, who's really struggled to win games this year. And I'm kind of blanking on who else they played. But, Auburn. And Auburn's a great team. Auburn, that's valid. But you play finally probably the best, if not the best pitching staffs, and you just can't do anything. I mean, for me, I think they got to get it together. They just couldn't see the ball well. Maybe it could have been just the drop-off of who they faced, right? But I don't know. Georgia really didn't impress me. I don't think they're a top 5 team in the country like people say. All right, moving on to LSU sweeping OU. I think Cade Anderson proved he's the best pitcher in the country. You're laughing about. I think he is. I think he's the best pitcher in the country. He threw a complete game for, I believe, 14 strikeouts. I think it was scoreless, by the way. He looked awesome. I mean, a bounce back from last week against Mississippi State. It wasn't the best, and flip-flops this week. Comes in there against the top 10 team in the country at Oklahoma in terrible conditions, by the way. It was pouring down rain and really windy, and he did great. He did great, especially when you're going against a guy like Kyson, who is a great pitcher, and he won that. And then, honestly, I think this was the best the staff has done all year as a pitching whole. I mean, Chase Shores finally got it together, threw up some Ks and some zeros, which was great to see. What's your thoughts on the OU LSU series?
I mean, we had the chance to watch that Friday night game, and I mean, Cade Anderson is just, or that Thursday night game, I guess. Cade is just really good. He looks like Randy Johnson a little bit, honestly. I mean, the kid looks good. Ianson pitched a lot better. I would agree with you, too, about their pitching staff. It's probably the best they've looked throughout the course of baseball so far. Shores looked a lot better, too. I think they exposed OU a little bit as well. They got Kyson, and that dude is going to be insane. I mean, the kid's really good. After that, there's some question marks to me in OU's lineup as to how they're going to, do once Kyson's not pitching. I think their bullpen struggles a little bit, and their hitting is good.
1 second. Let me go inside real quick. My bad.
You're in the garage.
Yeah, they're closing the garage on me. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. My bad. I had to go back inside. So, how How noisy was that, by the way? Was that really noisy?
No.
Like you could barely hear it?
No, I mean, you could hear it, but
Okay. Well, all right. Well, moving on. Last thing. Sorry, complete riffraff in this pod. Guys, usually it's not like this, but roommates think they're funny. All right, moving on to A&M beating Tennessee. Just want to say it right here. I called it.
bro.
I mean, come on, guys. You guys know who to go to for picks. I mean, seriously, what's going on with Tennessee A&M? I think A&M really just had the series they needed this weekend to kind of get back and rolling. I don't think Tennessee played the best baseball this weekend. I don't think Tennessee's a bad team. I think they're still one of the best teams in the country. But, I mean, it's the SEC. You're going to drop some series. What was your thoughts on this series?
Yeah, doubleheader. They just didn't have their best baseball that day. I still think Tennessee's really good. A&M just had a weekend where they put it all together. I mean, you've seen the talent on the roster. They're good. They just got to put it all together. The pitchers came out to pitch, and the hitters finally hit. I mean, you saw Caden Kent with a couple home runs, I think, Laviolette as well. So, I mean, they put it together. They looked pretty good. So we'll see how it continues to play out. If A&M kind of has a turnaround or how it goes from here. Tennessee, they're fine. I mean, you're going to drop a series. That's how it goes. You just have to be the best once Omaha comes.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We'll talk more about who A&M plays this week and who Tennessee plays. But, yeah, no, I totally agree with you. A&M had a great series. I think that's the best they've played all year. And, honestly, I think we saw glimpses of it against Kentucky where they kind of came alive. I mean, they've really started to – I mean, it's one series in. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But LSU was in a very similar position last year, and they turned it around, and they were able to be a 2 seed. I think that A&M finding the tournament is totally doable at this point. They just knocked off the number 1 team in the country. And, I mean, they're playing South Carolina this week. We'll talk more about that later. But I think A&M winning this was great for them. Huge momentum getter. This next team, we really don't got to talk much. Arkansas murdered Missouri. What was it? 51 total runs in the series.
Yeah. And
I mean,
they played a doubleheader on Sunday too. So you got to think about how many, what was it? 23 runs the first game, 26, something like that.
And then both of the games were 7-run games. Don't get me wrong. They were going to be 7-run games anyways because the run rule.
Yeah. But, you got to think of how many runs they scored in a day on Sunday. Like,
dude, Missouri's just bad, man. Like, I don't think they're going to win a game. Like, I don't think they're going to win a game in the SEC. I really don't. They're just so bad. Like, they're really just a bad team. Like, I hate to be that guy, and I'm not trying to just, completely, like, shit on them, but they suck.
Yeah.
They suck.
Yeah. It was crazy, too, like, because I was at that Saturday game, and at first it was a little rocky. I mean, Zach Root didn't look too dominant at the start. I mean, Mizzou went up, I think, 2-0. Arkansas eventually murdered them, but I mean, Zach Root had to settle in. So it looked like it was like, we got a little game here. And then, that quickly ended the next inning. I think they scored 5 or 6 or something like that. So,
well, believe it or not, Arkansas is 10th in the country in ERA right now. And that surprises me because their pitching staff hasn't seemed – I mean, they've played good. They've won games. They've done, decent. But I didn't realize they were top 10 in the country good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that really surprises me because I was looking earlier. I was like, wow. But, man, Arkansas's got a good baseball team, bro, and Missouri is the complete opposite of the end.
How about that Dave Van Horn thing about Nate Thompson?
What about it? No, I didn't see it.
He had a presser after the weekend, and he goes, I've been getting a lot of stuff these past 2 years about my hitting coach. And he goes, I don't want to hear another damn thing about my hitting coach. He scored 51 runs in a weekend.
Yeah, no, and that's real. I mean, dude, last year everyone was coming for his head. They all wanted him fired.
Yeah, I was too. I mean, at the start of the year too.
Whenever you're losing to SEMO in the regionals and you can't score runs, I mean, their bats went dead. I mean, granted, they had a guy like Hagan who could kind of pull them out of that hole in games, but I mean, one guy can't save you. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's awesome to hear. I mean, 51 runs, you can't argue with that. That's crazy for Arkansas. Yeah. They're rolling right now. Honestly, they look like the best team in the country. They deserve that one spot for me right now.
They do. They do.
Vanderbilt sweeping Florida. This is a game we kind of disagreed on last week. You predicted it. You were right. Vanderbilt swept Florida. Man, this hole just keeps getting really deep for the Gators.
Yeah.
They're digging themselves a bigger hole. I don't think the tournament's really a possibility at this point. I don't think there's really a possibility of them making the tournament unless they turn it around. And if they turn it around, they have to really, I'm talking, they're going to have to sweep some guys and do some of that, which we haven't seen them play. I will say they had a chance to win game 2. They really did. And they blew it. And they've done that. They've done that in multiple occasions this year. Against Tennessee, they had several opportunities to win that series, and they ended up getting swept. What's your thoughts on Vanderbilt or Florida right now and the way that series went?
I don't know. I mean, they just can't put it together. I mean, when I look at Florida, I don't look at it as severe as A&M, but I look at it kind of like A&M. Like, Florida's got guys. I mean, they always do. You know, I just they got to put it together. I don't know if it's the bullpen that's struggling or starting pitching. They just can't seem to figure it out. And so, I mean, it's kind of running late now where you're supposed to kind of have it together. So, I mean, we'll see the rest of the season. Florida's got to figure it out. The bullpen's got to come together and do something.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll talk more about who they got this week coming up. Auburn, big series win over Bama. And I cannot stress enough how big of a series win that is, because that's a series that you can win, but a lot of people didn't think you could win. I mean, Auburn's not a Tennessee. They're not a LSU. They're not a Texas, right? But, man, they're fighting that line to get up there. And that win over Bama, who we both are very high on, they won that series, and they looked good doing it. I mean, it was aside from the first game, the last 2 games were great games. The first game, Auburn blew out Bama, which really shocked me. I don't know what was going on, but man, huge for Auburn. Like, really, honestly, like I was very, very, very excited to see that for them. What was your thoughts on the way Auburn played, or Bama for that matter?
I mean, we said it last week. I mean, the teams are scrappy, both of them, Auburn and Bama, and we knew it was gonna come down to like a series like that, where you look at like Bama should win this, but Auburn, man, they're gonna fight, and it's not gonna be easy. Auburn took advantage of their opportunities. I mean, when they had runners on base, they did stuff with it. What else?
They pitched well this weekend too.
Yeah, they put it together. I mean, they came there. They did it when it mattered. So, I mean, Auburn, they look good. Scrappy. It's a good win for them. Bama, you're like, relax. You're all right. You lost 1 series. You're still a good team. But, yeah, I mean, that definitely hurts for Bama for sure.
Moving on, Mississippi State got a well-needed win over South Carolina. I mean, that's big for Mississippi State. I mean, they went from they got swept by UT, they lost a tough one to OU, and then they got swept again by LSU. And then they play South Carolina, finally a team that isn't like an overpower. And Oklahoma's not an overpowering team. They had a chance to win that. But that was a big series win for them over South Carolina, I think. South Carolina isn't great, but I think they're a lot better than the record shows. And I think Mississippi State says the same for them. Their offense is great. But I think that's a big win for them. South Carolina is kind of like Florida. They're really starting to dig that hole.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that series?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure I had Mississippi State last weekend. They're a good team. You're just in the gauntlet, man. You're in the SEC. It's hard. Mississippi State did what they were supposed to do and took the series. I mean, that's pretty much all I got on that. Mississippi State looked pretty good. So.
Yeah, Ole Miss, Kentucky, nail biter of a series. Games 1 and 3 both went to extras. Kentucky actually took game 1, bringing it to go to a rubber match on Sunday, and which was also a nail biter of a game. Ole Miss ended up pulling through there at the end, and I thought Kentucky was going to win that game 3 game. I really did. That's big. Honestly, that's big for Kentucky, and that's for Ole Miss to fight like that and win that series. That's big for them too. Both teams are pretty decent. I think Ole Miss is a little bit better than the way they played this weekend. But then again, Kentucky's a tournament team. I don't think they're a host, but I think they're a tournament team. I think they're going to be a 2 seed this year, maybe 3. I mean, they, like you said, it's a gauntlet in the SEC. There's some tough games. But, like, I wouldn't be surprised if like, Kentucky took, like, a series off of I mean, shit, Tennessee's beatable now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they beat them, but I really like Kentucky. They've got a
I mean,
decent squad.
Texas at Kentucky this week. I mean, it's another good weekend for them to show up and show if they're about it or not, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. So I am very interested to see that one. We'll talk more about that matchup coming up. But man, what was your thoughts on that? I thought it was a great series. I thought it was a series of the weekend, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at teams like Ole Miss, they didn't play their best baseball this weekend. The biggest thing about teams is how you play when you're not at your best. When your Friday night starter doesn't do as good as he's supposed to do, when gets to like the fourth inning, gives up a couple runs, how do you bounce back? And then for them to come back the next two games the way they did shows a lot about Ole Miss. But I think they're a good team. They're scrappy, and I think they're going to go really, really far this year. So I think it was a great series win for them.
All right. Now, moving on to the upcoming games this weekend, we got Missouri at Florida. What is your thoughts on this? And then I'll give my prediction.
I mean, let's just flip a coin. Like, holy, like who knows? It's Missouri, Florida, man. I mean, Florida at home, I don't really know. Missouri's terrible. I'm gonna go Florida 2 out of 3. Is Missouri winning a game, dude?
No, they're not. I'm taking Florida to sweep, dude.
Florida,
I'm sorry. I'm hopping on
Florida
the Missouri hate train.
Florida sweep. Missouri is
Dude,
terrible.
Aside from Florida's record, they've got some big time arms, and they've also got players like Shelton and a couple others that can really rake if they get hot. So roster wise, Florida blows Missouri out of the water. It's not even close, right?
Yeah.
So give me the Gators sweeping. Maybe it's a closer game than Missouri's been in. But Florida needs a series, and I think they sweep. And I'd be damned if Sully loses this series. I'll tell you that right there. So
Agreed.
I think Florida wins. I agree with you. South Carolina A&M. This game is intriguing to me. What do you think happens? Who do you think takes the series?
This is A&M. You're coming back. You get Monday at practice. You just knocked off number 1 Tennessee. Now you've got to refocus. This is another week where they can bounce back and get a series win. So you got South Carolina at home. You're going to get more fans because you just beat number 1 Tennessee. They've had nobody in their ballpark. You're going to get more fans. You got to settle down, and you got to go take the series. It's a great weekend for them to do. It's a perfect opponent to go and play good and play their baseball. So I've got A&M 2 out of 3 here.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Honestly, A&M might even sweep. I think they win 2 out of 3, though. I don't think they're going to sweep, but they could. I think they win that matchup with Prager, and then I think they take Saturday too. I think Lampkin's just as good as Prager can be. So I think both of them take those games. I mean, the A&M's really overlooked. They don't have a great bullpen, but, man, Lampkin and Prager are both, in my opinion, top 25 pitchers in the country. They're both very good. If I had them on my team, obviously, I think Arkansas LSU is probably a little bit better, but if I had those two on my team, you can't go wrong with those two. So I think they can take it over South Carolina. I agree with you there. Arkansas at Georgia. This is Georgia really needs to bounce back after getting swept by UT. Well, I'll ask you who you think is going to win, and then I'll state who I think is going to win.
I mean, is it one of those things where was Texas just that good, or is Georgia question marks? Arkansas is playing arguably the best baseball in the country right now. 51 runs in a weekend. I mean, you've got great pitching, Zach Root, you got Gackle, and then you've got a bunch of other guys in the bullpen. To me, I think their bullpen got exposed, honestly, Georgia's. They're averaging almost 6 runs a game ERA-wise, or it's like 5.30 or something like that. So that was a big question mark going into it, and, I mean, they got exposed. So the way Arkansas is hitting right now, I've got Arkansas sweeping.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. If you would have asked me this week 1 of SEC play or week 2 after the Ole Miss series with Arkansas, I would have said it goes to 3 games. I don't know who takes it. But everyone's kind of showed the kind of team they are. Arkansas is really excelling. I mean, I hate to keep agreeing with you, but I think Arkansas sweeps as well. Maybe they drop a game, maybe, but I really doubt it. Arkansas is just hitting the damn ball really well. Georgia can hit the ball too. And I will give them this. Arkansas's pitching staff isn't as good as UT's, but it's not far from it. I mean,
No,
UT's is better, but it's not far from it.
It's not far from it at all. It's not far from it at all.
But I mean, I think guys like Aloy and some of those guys are going to make some plays. I think Arkansas is just a better team. I do agree with you. I think they're going to at least take 2 out of 3. But if not, I think they sweep.
Yeah.
Moving on, the game we brought up earlier, Texas, Kentucky. In my opinion, this is a really interesting matchup because you got a team in Texas who has only really struggled one series this year, was against LSU. Other than that, UT's kind of rolled. Then you take a team like Kentucky, who's really scratching crawled all year long. They dropped a tough one to Georgia. They dropped another tough one to Ole Miss. How do you think they're going to do against UT? Who do you think takes the series? I know who you're probably going to pick, but what do you think happens in this series?
This is a very interesting weekend for me because Texas just beat Georgia. They won their midweek. Death Taxes and Texas is going to win the midweek. So yeah,
no, it's losing midweek. Don't do
get
that.
out of here with that.
They finally won a midweek. Okay, wow, hallelujah, right?
I mean, we can talk about Jared Jones having to pee in a porta potty. I mean,
we peed in the porta potty, but we won.
What is that?
I mean, you wanna talk about crazy things happening? I mean, ask Chicken Little, the sky's falling. UT won a midweek game, right? So I don't know. You want to talk crazy? Let's talk crazy. Let's go back to the UT.
I mean, Jared Jones doesn't fit in that porta potty, bro. How did he even get in the door?
I don't know how he got in it, but that's embarrassing for Nichols allowing him to go just destroy.
No, I thought it was funny. No,
it was pretty funny.
This is a weekend for Texas to show what they've got. You know, you just beat Georgia. You've showed you're a good team. How do you continue to improve? You know, how do you continue to go in and hit the baseball it's at Kentucky? How do you continue to hit the baseball, pitch well? I've got Texas taking 3 here. Honestly, I do. I think they're playing pretty good.
Man, I agree with you. I think Texas wins.
Yeah.
But do they drop a game?
I mean,
I don't know. Dude, because Kentucky was this close to beating Georgia. And Georgia got swept by UT. And they were this close to beating Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think UT is better than they are. But I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for UT. I don't. I think, man, Texas wins. That's not what I'm arguing here.
Yeah.
But maybe Kentucky picks up a Saturday game win over Luke Harrison.
Yeah.
Luke Harrison's beatable. He is.
He is beatable.
Ruger,
no, I mean, he eats up innings, which is what you love. I mean, you look at his stuff and it's not crazy overpowering, but the dude eats up innings, and that's all you need. And then you got guys like Volantis and
Volantis is
and Dre coming in. So after on the back end, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I agree with you. I don't know. Texas wins the series. If Kentucky picks up a win, I won't be surprised. Kentucky's the type of team, they're kind of like an Alabama. I think Alabama's better than they are, but a team you cannot overlook at all. Man, I guess I'm going to give it to Texas, obviously, but I guess I'll go with the sweep here. But Kentucky could win that Saturday game. If you're thinking about betting on Kentucky any of the games, bet on Saturday for them to win. But I don't think they're going to win that game. They could, though.
Yeah.
Moving on, LSU Auburn, number 11 versus number 3. Interesting matchup here. Because Auburn, I mean, they're coming off a huge series win over Bama. And then you got a team like LSU who lost to UT and has been playing the best, is really starting to play like really good complementary baseball after, I think, their pitching has gotten better and, their situational hitting has gotten better as well. Who do you think wins this series?
You're not going to like my answer, JT. You're not going to like my answer. I think Kate Anderson wins Friday. I don't think anyone else probably even needs to come on the mound. Auburn shouldn't even show up Friday. But Ianson, you're high on this guy. I am not. I'm not high on Ianson at all. He gets in deep counts. I think Auburn's very scrappy, and they're going to put him into deep counts. And that's not what he wants. He wants guys that are attacking the ball. I think Auburn takes Saturday and Sunday.
Wow. LSU sweeps. We might drop a game. I doubt it. If we drop a game, it's going to be Sunday. We're sweeping Auburn. Auburn's scrappy. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter, dude. Kate Anderson and we're also going against Sam Dutton, a former LSU Tiger. Don't even get me started on that guy. That guy's a joker on the mound. He's all right at Auburn, but at LSU, that guy caused me a lot of pain. Yeah, I think LSU wins. I think they sweep too. Man, I don't know if you're trying to get reactions here, I don't know what.
Dude.
Ianson, okay, Ianson's better than Jared Spencer. Okay,
Wow,
you would
Jesus
know. You're
Christ.
laughing. No, you wanted to throw a shot at
Delusion.
Ianson. Ianson's just
Delusion.
gotten better week after week after week after week. He's great. He does get deep into counts, but these past 2 weekends he's looked flawless. So give me Ianson, and then
Delusion.
and you know what, Shores, man, I don't know what's going to happen there. He looked great last weekend, but I don't know. Auburn's a little bit better hitting wise than Oklahoma is. So, yeah, give me the Tigers 2 out of 3. Nah, screw that. Yeah, give me the Tigers a sweep. I hope I'm laughing in your face next week. I hope it's not vice versa. Moving
Yeah,
on, Mississippi
you're
State,
crazy.
Alabama. Honestly, another interesting matchup to me because Mississippi State is one of those teams that they're better than the record shows. And they've had some hard losses. I mean, that UT series, there was a couple I don't know if it was game 1. They had a really good shot to win that game, but they didn't. They made a mistake late in the game. LSU, same way. They're up game 1. They're hitting off Kate Anderson, right? And then they just have that big blow of an inning, and LSU came back and won. It's like they have opportunities to win. I think they could win this series. I'm going to ask you who you think is going to win, but this series is really interesting to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I've got Bama. I mean, they're playing good baseball. They need a bounce back weekend. Losing to your rival is never fun. So I think they take 2 out of 3 here.
Okay, yeah. I'm not upset with that. I think I agree. I think Bama can win, but you know what? Bama's just a deeper pitching staff. Mississippi State doesn't have the pitching staff they do, but Mississippi State can hit the ball. They really can. They can hit the ball really well. Bama is kind of, dude, they're just one of those teams. It's so hard to like pick on them. I mean, I was sure they were going to beat Auburn.
Yeah.
And Auburn came out there and played really good baseball. Mississippi State kind of, you know what? I'm going to go Mississippi State here. I think Mississippi State takes 2 out of 3. I think they can get a big series win. You're laughing, but dude, I think they're a lot better than the record shows. And I think this is a series win they need. And I think it's a series win they can get. Bama's fine. Bama can drop another series. Bama's a tournament team. I don't know if they're a host or not, but Mississippi State needs another series win. So give me Mississippi State. I think it's a high drama series. I think it's going to be a really good series, but I got Mississippi State taking this one. Moving on, Tennessee at Ole Miss. Interesting. Who do you got?
It's a big matchup. I got Ole Miss 2 out of 3 here, man. Ole Miss is Oxford's going to be packed this weekend. They got Tennessee coming into town. I think they've got a lot to prove, and I think Tennessee also has a lot to prove as well. Ole Miss, dude, I think Ole Miss is going to take 2 out of 3. I think they're going to win Friday. They're going to lose Saturday, and it's going to be rubber on Sunday, and I think Ole Miss takes it, man. I really do.
Yeah, man, I think I'm going to take Tennessee here, dude. I think Tennessee sweeps. I think Liam Doyle, other than Cade Anderson, is another one of the better pitchers in the country. Numbers-wise, he is Cade beat a little bit, not by far. Friday, they're definitely not losing Friday. Saturday, I think they take as well. And honestly, I think they take Sunday too. I mean, yeah, Ole Miss did win a game off Arkansas, but that was Arkansas before they're Arkansas right now, right? Arkansas week 1 of SEC was a lot different team than they are now. So yeah, I think Tennessee sweeps. I think especially after coming off of a loss, no way they lose 2 back-to-back series. So give me Tennessee here. Last week, in that last game of the SEC, we got Vanderbilt at Oklahoma. This is an interesting matchup to me. Who do you have winning this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. RJ Austin and those guys are question marks after question marks. Honestly, OU, I don't think that Kyson's going to lose. Honestly, I don't. I think LSU is just too much for him. But I don't think Kyson loses Friday night. And so after that, I mean, it's 50-50, honestly. I think I'm going to take Vanderbilt on Saturday, Sunday. I think OU wins game 1 just because they got Kyson on the mound. And then after that, I think Vanderbilt hits the ball and takes it.
So give me Oklahoma. And here's why. I agree with you. Kyson looked great. If it wasn't for Cade Anderson throwing the way he did, they really could have won the game. LSU scored 2 runs the whole game,
Yeah.
and they scored them like they wasn't like a big inning or anything. It was like one inning here and or one score here and then a score later on in the game. I think Oklahoma's a lock for Friday, but I think they're a better team than Oklahoma or than Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt can hit better, but Vanderbilt dropped the series to Auburn. They got swept by Arkansas. I mean, they did sweep Florida, which surprised me wrong. And I've kind of picked against Vanderbilt almost every week here. I'm kind of seeming like a Vanderbilt hater. I promise I'm not. I just don't think they're very good.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma takes the series here, 2 out of 3. I don't think it's a sweep either way, though. I don't. I cannot see a sweep going here. I think if Oklahoma loses the series, they're gonna lose Friday, or if they lose the series, I think they're gonna win Friday, right? But I don't think either team gets swept. Give me Oklahoma. Moving on to the, I guess, out of conference games. We got Stanford, Clemson. Stanford's kind of struggled. Clemson's been great, but Stanford we know has a pretty decent roster. They're kind of in the same spot as A&M. Obviously not as good of a roster, but they do have some star power in that lineup. Who do you think takes this series?
I got Clemson sweeping, man. I do. Clemson's playing great baseball right now, so I don't think Stanford's going to be too much of a problem for him, to be honest. It's at home as well, so I think Clemson sweeps.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I'd love to sit here and try to make a case for Stanford, but man, they could beat Georgia Tech. They've I mean, they won off of North Carolina. I'll give them that, but other than that, they haven't been great. Florida State at Virginia Tech, an interesting one for me because Virginia Tech recently just beat Louisville, who I think is a very good baseball team, and Florida State just lost to Wake. So who do you think takes this one?
Yeah, I mean, I told you last week I'm not high on Florida State. Dude, I don't know. Virginia Tech to me is weird too. I haven't been able to catch Virginia Tech at all this year. I see them in the scores a lot, just never really took it in depth to look at them. Florida State, man, that's a question mark for me as well. I don't know. It's at Virginia Tech. I think it's going to end up probably coming to a rubber match on Sunday, and I'm going to go Florida State probably.
Yeah, I'll take Florida State as well. I think it will go to a rubber match too, but I don't think Florida State loses back-to-back series. I disagree with you there. I think I disagree in the fact that you're not high on them. I think they're a good team. I do. I think they're a top 10 team in the country. I think, give me Florida State 2 out of 3. And maybe even a sweep. But Virginia Tech, I'll give them credit because they did take a tough series over Louisville. So give me Florida State in that one as well. Wake Forest, North Carolina, another interesting matchup. North Carolina just took a well-needed series win over Duke. Wake Forest took a well-needed series win over Florida State. Who do you think wins this one?
Yeah, I mean, I had Duke last week. That didn't go too hot. I think Wake Forest is a good team. I mean, they always seem to get some players out of that Midwest area. I just don't know how they're going to match up against North Carolina. I think North Carolina's got a little too much firepower. I'm going to go North Carolina 2 out of 3.
I'm going to take Wake Forest here. I think that series win over Florida State is what they needed. They had a tough series loss to Clemson, which they fought hard in that one. Give me Wake here. I think they're going to hit the bats. I think their bats are going to be a little too hard for North Carolina's pitching staff to handle. So I got Wake in this one, best 2 out of 3. And I don't know if you've noticed something, but the ACC has been very dog-eat-dog this year versus the SEC's kind of been like you have your top guys and your bottom guys, right? The ACC's kind of all been like it's really like a big race. Clemson, It's been very interesting. Moving on, last one of the week, we got number 1 in the Big 12 versus number 3 in the Big 12, Kansas versus TCU. Who do you think wins this series?
These are two very sleeper programs. When you think about baseball, nobody says Kansas. TCU obviously is a known baseball school, but I'm not too sure as to what Kansas is really about. I think TCU is very good, but Kansas, like you said, is first in the Big 12 right now. I think it's at TCU. I'm going to take TCU here, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, man, at TCU is a big game changer. I'm still not high on Kansas. I'm with you there. I think TCU takes 2 out of 3. So that's it for this week. A lot of big games this weekend. Make sure you guys tune in. Yeah, thank you for hopping on, Caden. I appreciate you guys listening if you listen in on the podcast. We'll see you guys next week.